so thank you. We are honored and privileged today to have Josh Swiller as our commencement speaker. He is back by popular demand after having given a tremendous talk at graduation in 2008. Josh is the author of The Unheard, a memoir of deafness in Africa, which was on the New York Times bestseller list, and he's a dedicated advocate for the deaf and believes in cultivating, in his own words, a peaceful and playful mind. Josh was born with a moderate hearing loss and was legally deaf by age 4. He received a cochlear implant a few years ago. He's had a wide variety of careers, which kind of makes my head spin: a college professor, a Peace Corps volunteer, a forest ranger, a sheepskin slipper craftsman, a raw food chef, and a hospice worker. Josh's journalism has appeared in numerous national publications, such as the New York Times and the Washington Post, and he's won several awards, including 2011 Magazine Feature of the Year from the Washington, D.C. Society of Professional Journalists. He also consults for the DC Family TV series Switched at Birth, and he's at work on several fiction and nonfiction projects. So we're very, very fortunate to have him here today. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce Josh Swiller.
Morning. I have to correct one thing before I start. When Bill asked me to speak, he said, "Josh, you were such a disappointment 4 years ago. We'll give you one more chance." So graduates of the 2012 class, congratulations. Nothing you do during these years is as important as the education you're receiving and the good habits and discipline you're growing. And this occasion right now, this ceremony, is to celebrate your fantastic work so far. So well done. Be proud. Fist bump. Later today, after these speeches are finally done and you finally get home and get a moment alone in your room, I want you to seriously reach behind your shoulder and pat yourself on the back and say, "Good job." Your lives are just beginning, and your most exciting adventures may be ahead of you, but one very important piece to all of that is to know how to stop and appreciate what you've done. It is so important to appreciate how wonderful you are, so make sure to do that. And that's what I'd like to talk about today: getting the most from life and appreciating all that you get. Like you, as Bill said, like you, I have a profound hearing loss. Like you, I've had to work with my deafness today to get the most out of life that I possibly can. And you know what I've learned? It's that in deafness, we actually have an advantage. Deafness has so many wonderful things to give us and to teach us and to strengthen us and to help us live life to the fullest. Really? Deafness. I was surprised myself to find that out. I won't lie, for many years, I was sure the opposite was true. I was sure that my life was missing something because I couldn't hear a conversation in the high school cafeteria or on the TV, and because I couldn't understand what Bob Dylan or U2 or Michael Jackson were singing. But here's what I learned. First of all, you can Google the lyrics. There's an app for that on the iPhone. But seriously, first of all, in these struggles, deafness is teaching us to be kind. Deafness will bring up worries, and these worries ask of us that we be kind to ourselves. When you are facing frustration, when voices in your head tell you that life isn't fair and that you are missing out, the one thing that truly releases these frustrations and anxieties is your kindness. You can't tell fear, "Go away, go away." Or you can do that, but it doesn't work. But you can tell it, "It's okay, everything will be okay." And when we are kind to ourselves, then we can truly be kind to others. Because, as my mother told me when I was your age, everyone has a deafness. You're just lucky that you knows what yours is. She meant that we all struggle with ourselves, that everyone has parts of themselves that are difficult to accept. Everyone has voices that say life isn't fair, even if they can hear perfectly. We know what our deafness is, and knowing it, we can be kind to it, no matter what the situation. And being kind to it, to our deafness, we can be kind to others. Everything will be okay. The second thing deafness is teaching us is to be strong. Is being deaf easy? Is it a walk in the park? No, it's hard. But hard things are what give us character. Difficult situations and events teach us to be brave. They teach us to grow up and take responsibility for ourselves. Next year, the first time you don't hear what's said in class, you might sit quietly and patiently. But the next time you will get out of your seat and go to the teacher and advocate for yourself. When you go to the theater and the caption device isn't working, you will go to the manager and get it working. Or else, when someone is talking to you, but being difficult to follow, you won't just smile and nod. You will say, listen, I really want to understand what you have to say. So can you look at me and talk slower? When your friends or your advisors or even your own brains say there isn't a way, you will find a way. I know deaf doctors, pilots, actors, deaf adventurers in the Amazon jungle, deaf professional athletes, deaf musicians, deaf lawyers, deaf real moguls, artists and dancers, and you can be sure all of them had moments of doubt on the way to achieving their dreams. But they pushed through these doubts, and they had the strength to push through from working every day with their deafness. You understand? Deafness will force you to ask yourself again and again, how will I make this work? How do I keep going? And you will find a way. You will. And you know what else? My mother is right, again. Not everyone is lucky enough to have something that regularly challenges them and forces them to rise above. And without challenges, unfortunately, it is easy to waste your life looking for the next pleasure, the next good time, the next party. Deafness won't let you do that. It will make you stronger than that, and your strength will be a source of strength to others. Third thing that deafness teaches us. Deafness is a great filter. While not hearing can make it harder to meet new people, you will find again and again the kind of people deafness does attract are of the highest class, thoughtful, intelligent, open-hearted. You actually already are surrounded by such people. You only have to look at the graduating master's students, the next row over for proof. And throughout life, if you keep your eyes open and your hearts brave, you will continue to meet sensitive, warm, and understanding people, and they will be looking for you because of the kindness and strength you have. Fourth thing, deafness will be a source of peace. The world we're going off to is a beautiful and exciting one, but it can also be stressful, tiring, scary, or just plain strange. It's called high school. With deafness, you will always have the option of turning off the world for a moment and stepping back into a calm and quiet space where you can relax, breathe deeply, clear your head, and get back in touch with your strength and kindness. Anywhere you go, you can do this. Most people can't. Just make sure you don't do it when one of your parents is telling you to clean the room. So learning And drawing from deafness in these ways, I've been blessed to live a life more wonderful than I could ever have imagined. I've traveled around the world many times, lived and worked in great cities, South American jungle, in the Indonesian islands, in tiny African villages, so small they don't have names. I've met incredible, inspiring people. Believing there was more to life than how much I could hear of it, I went out into the world to test that theory and found it to be true many millions of times over. I know you will go and do the same. To the Clark graduating master's class, you are already on your way. You have that kindness, that strength, that understanding. We in the deaf and hard of hearing community are so grateful to have each and every one of you. To those of you here outside of that community, may I just say, back off. They're ours. Too late. The only thing as wonderful as a person realizing how special she is to help someone realize how special she is. Through your hard work, expertise, and compassion, you are enlarging people's lives. You are showing them lives greater than they ever imagined, bigger than any hearing loss. Which brings me to one final lesson of deafness. And that is, in the end, deafness teaches us that it doesn't matter. It actually isn't important at all. Little by little, you see that the quality of your life has nothing to do with your implant mapping or how well you can hear song lyrics. The quality of your life comes down to how fully you embrace it. All of it. As my mother put it to me growing up, when I look at you, I don't see a deaf child, just a very, very, very difficult one. Hey, she's making a really important point. Deafness is one tiny, tiny part of who we are, and embracing all we are is embracing all of life. So to do that, we have to love and appreciate all parts of ourselves, including the parts we don't like or aren't comfortable with, the parts that worry, the part that says, I don't know what to say to these new people in the cafeteria, so I'm just going to eat alone. The part that says, this algebra class is going to be too tough for me. The part that says, I know she won't say yes, so I'm not even going to ask her out. Embracing these worries, they relax and release themselves. And then what we find out is that we're actually the embrace and not the worries, not the fear. Such voices are not right. They are not true. They're momentary opinions that will vanish, but the embrace, your kind, strong, and loving embrace of all that you are, will remain. And so, graduates, as we all go forward into this world full of change, to new schools and jobs and new friendships and cities and challenges and fears and loves, please remember, I hope we all can remember, that the only thing that limits our future is how fully we are willing to embrace it. And may you always travel with a happy, gentle heart. Thank you.
So much better than 4 years ago. Thank you.